And good morning. Is it still morning out there? No, it's afternoon. Good morning and good afternoon, Sun City Center students. Look at all those happy faces there. That is absolutely fabulous. Well, welcome to this wonderful, I'll do that there. All right. We're going to have a really fun time today, so I'll talk after I play my first song. I got to warm up a little bit, right? Yay! Now, in case you're wondering, oh, thank you. Got a crowd here too. It's me, myself, and I.
It's you with all your friends.
Yeah, that's true. No, I have a fourth friend. My girlfriend claims she is my friend too. Well, I'm playing today, folks, the beautiful, the wonderful Lowry Liberty. I know you have one there in the store too, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Okay, well, maybe you guys will get to hear it a little bit differently. This is actually my favoriteest A series model. There's a lot of A models in the line. There's the A200, there's the Encore, there's a Holiday Classic, there's Legend, Prestige, Imperial, and so forth and so forth. And this is my absolute favoritist. Favoritist a word? Probably not,
No,
but when we're doing a show, we can make up words, can't we? Yes, we
we
can make
do.
up words. And there's a lot of things that was phenomenal about this instrument. Actually, if I stand up, my head's going to get cut off, so I'm going to lean over like this. But this was actually the first time they introduced the Grand Monitor speaker system, which basically allows you to take the sound and open it up. And the best way I like to explain what that means, in simple terms, as I'm talking to you, I'm assuming you can hear me nice and clearly. And if I keep talking and I do something like this, and I put this in front of me, can you still hear me? Can you still kind of hear what I'm
Yes.
saying? Yes? A little bit differently now? And my point of that is you can still hear that there's something going on. I'm talking, but what happens when the speakers open up like this it just opens up the sound and it gives more clarity to the sound. So a lot of people have asked, what is really the purpose of that? And it's simply that. It's just to nicely open up the sound, especially when you're using the virtual speaker option. This was actually the first time where they did the music integrated desk, the music rack and the integrated desk all in one, so it allowed them to do that on the top. And so obviously I won't be using music. I might, but if I do, I can pull it out, or I can just nicely slide it in, and it works very nicely that way. I don't know if, oh yeah, you can see it there. You can see that this was actually, you know, there were a couple bench-style benches that came out before this, and the models that had the full pedal boards, because of the style of the cabinet and the pedal boards, Lowry put these lumbar supports on those, and at first they only did them on the full console models, and on the Liberty they found a way to take the adjustable bench. So you have the knobs on the side where all you do is simply twist it. Actually, I like it up a little higher, so that's what I'll do. And they added the lumbar support, and you still have the ability to open up the bench and store some music there. So it kind of gave the best of both worlds for those who kind of like the simplicity of the bench with a bench that opened up and having the lumbar support as well. And there's a lot of wonderful things on the instrument as well. So I'm going to feature two things at once here. This is really nice because there's a lot of new styles, and I had to trim it down from about 35 new styles that the Liberty introduced. I was going to do all 35, but you would only get to hear about a measure per song. So I trimmed it down to some of my favoritist. There's that word again. And this next style, and I want to show some of these a little bit differently than what most people do. Now, most of you are familiar with the term signature style. Yes? Show of hands. Just raise your hands anyway. Just act like you know. Yeah. There you go. Signature style, in short, is basically a style that is kind of designed for a song, created for a song, inspired by an artist, created for that song. So, for example, when I say the style Unforgotten, which is on a lot of the Lowry organs, many people know that, oh, the intro and the ending, the fills are going to be designed for the song Unforgettable. And then there's many other styles that you know that play on words that give you that. Well, they introduced some really amazing new signature styles, but I want to play them a little bit differently as well. So, for example, this style is simply called Believe Ballad. Now, most people, when they see that, they say, oh, that must be great for the song Believe. Right? And who did that song? Do you know, Joni?
No, but I do know it's called I Believe.
I Believe, sorry. Well, I believe you're correct.
Thank you.
I knew there was something missing in it. But anyway, it's a beautiful song. And every time we hear the style, I hear a lot of the staff members play this. But I'm going to play it a little bit differently. And then I'm going to do a little bonus here for you, Joni, because I know you love this category. So there are some new category presets, and this was the original love songs category that was introduced on here.
That's a fave.
That is a fave, isn't it? It's my favorite now. I took it away from you. I'll start off with some of these beautiful category presets, and then I'll go into the rhythm style and play the song. And we start off with some really gorgeous vocals. Listen to this flute. You can hear the breath. The saxophone, you could hear the vibrato just right. The breath. Bring in the 101 Strings Orchestra. Listen to this. Oh, I'm going to get chills. Isn't that beautiful? Some gorgeous presets.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Oh, I got chills. And I thought it was because it was chilly in here, but it's not. It's just a beautiful song. Now, you know, I've been, since I started Fletcher Music Centers, when I started back in 93, you know, it was interesting. In 93, and with our students that we had, I was told you had to learn, they told me all the styles of music that you should learn to play, Robert, or you're not going to sell organs. Make sure you play this and that. And one of the styles of music they said was big band, and they mentioned names like Tommy Dorsey and Glenn Miller and what have you. And I was like, who are those people? And they said, well, you better learn. And within a very short time of doing some research and learning the songs, I had a love for music that I never realized that was never part of my world. This next style is again, I'm going to play, I want to feature them a little bit differently so you see how diverse they are. The style is called, let's see if you can guess the song that it would normally be for. The style is called Swing of India. Anyone want to guess what song that's for? Well, I'll give you a hint. India is part of it. Anyone want to guess? I can't hear. Is anybody guessing?
No.
It's called, I think, Song of India. And it was, a little trivia for you, maybe you can Google it and find out who was the artist that made this famous. It was either Tommy Dorsey, I believe, maybe. But the song would normally be Song of India, and I think Tommy Dorsey, his band, feature this. But I'm not going to play Song of India. When I heard the intro of this, I thought, I could have a lot of fun with some great big band songs with this. So here we go. And it's the only style that has, I think it's like a 16 measure intro. So, like if you're sitting at the bench and you're going, oh my gosh, I gotta go to the bathroom, but I have to play, you can start the intro, walk away, and then come back. Much better. Now we'll bring in Ray Anthony. Here we go. That's fun. Boy, if you like big band, that's a great style. And of course, here's another one of my favorites. I might say that a lot today. I have a lot of favorites on the Liberty. Now, are you familiar with the name Perry Como? Might be a little bit before your time. Anyone know the name Perry Como? Raise a hand. He had a lot of great hits. I think one of the ones I'm familiar with is a song called It's Impossible. Is that it? Was that Perry Como?
It's possible.
Okay, whew. I hope that's right, because the next style is called It's Possible. But when you hear this, now I'm just going to play it, the introduction for a second. Think of the song It's Impossible, right? And listen to the intro, and think of that song, and you actually won't have to. You'll hear it in the introduction. Play the melody, da, 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 okay, and then the ending, of course. Now that is a gorgeous style, but what I've discovered with this style is the tempo, the styling, the arrangement, everything is so beautiful and magnificent, and it works with hundreds and hundreds of other songs in that genre. And you would never even think that you were using that style. So for example, I'm going to do the same thing. I'll use intro 2 this time, and watch. Isn't that beautiful? It's such a gorgeous style. Whew. Well, I hope you're enjoying your time so far today. Looks like are you taking notes? Because we're going to quiz you afterwards. Right, Joni? All right. Well, now, this next feature that I want to showcase is a feature that's been around for a while. But for me, it wasn't until the Liberty that they finally made it what I call user-friendly. And I know some of you are from, you may know what I'm talking about. And it's a feature called Fake It. Now, on some of the models, when you use Fake It, you have to do what's called noodling. I think that's what Dawn calls it. I call it wiggling your fingers around. Okay? Or basically you have to wiggle the fingers on the notes to follow the way the beat, the style is. So if you're doing a swing, you might play those notes a little differently than if you were doing a country and what have you. Well, this was the first time they actually introduced the auto Fake It. And I'm going to have some fun with this style. Now, this is the part I may cut out of my recording. I forgot I was going to play this song. I learned it 30 years ago, and I haven't played it in 27 years, I think. So we'll have a little fun. The style is called Chinatown. So the song that I'm probably going to play with it would be, any guesses?
Chinatown.
Well, that was a very good guess, Joni. It's a good thing you know all these answers. So, but I have another fun song I actually want to play with it. Oops. This style, it kind of brings me back to I want to say bring me back because I wasn't there, but it makes me feel like I was there, back to the Charleston days. And then partway through, I'm going to turn on my auto Fake It. So here we go. That was a lot of fun. Whew. Yeah, I was just on a whim there. I reached up and hit auto bass, by the way, and it gave me that nice swing and jazz bass in there. Now, we're going to switch gears here. Now, over the years, especially the last 4 or 5 years, a lot of models have been introduced in different ways. Some of you may have heard the word transformations, conversions, and things of that nature. And what that simply means is there are certain products that we have that with the help of Mr. Bill Curry himself, he can take a product and transform it or convert it and do things and add different styles. Sometimes that means he has to replace it with other styles. And I have to tell you, on the Lowry Liberty, there are some styles that you never want to replace. The use of some of the sounds and the presets you're going to hear in this, I love my Latin beats. And one of the styles that I really love in here was simply called Miami Conga. Now, are you familiar with Gloria Estefan? Gloria Estefan, back in the 80s, had some big hits where she took stylings of music like, you know, cha-chas and sambas and merengues and things like that, and really kind of modernized it, and it became very popular. Well, this style here on the Liberty, to me, was the best, one of my favoriteest Latin styles. And I'm going to play a little bit of the song that it's designed for, but the reason why I love it, it's so diverse. It works with all those great Latin tunes. So you'll hear the song in the opening. Here we go. Thank you. Isn't that fun? Can anyone guess what the first song was? Can anyone guess what the first song was? Any guesses out there besides you, Joni?
No guesses.
I'll tell you the name of the style. The name of the style was called Miami Conga. The name of the song was called Conga. And anyone guess the name of the second song I played? Any guesses there? It's not a common song we play a lot. Every now and then I throw it in, someone go, well, that's a cool melody. What song is that? It's called Miami Beach Rumba, but I did it in a conga. So a lot of fun. So I thought it was a lot of fun. Now, we'll go back in time, before your time. One of my favorite styles on here. I said that several times, I know, but I think I can have more than one favorite. I thought this was really cool. So think about a category of styles called basic rhythms. Now, some of you may be familiar with that. When basic rhythm first was introduced, its purpose was, it served a main purpose. It was designed to be a rhythm that was so plain and simple and so easy to follow that if someone new in the hobby was learning to make music and they had trouble with their timing, they could use a 4/4 or 3/4, and the beats were so, you know, it was hard to not hear the beat.
Basic.
All right? Basic. And what happened is that basic style has evolved over the years, and then they started putting basics for all styles of music. So in other words, the panel, if you had a big band, they had a basic rhythm for the big band. And if you had Latin, they had one for the Latin. They had one for rock, etc. Well, when they got into the Liberty, some of those basic styles, they gave it to you two ways. They weren't just so basic, but they were easy enough to follow, but they were also orchestrated enough to be interesting so you would use it more than just what most people did. Well, when the Liberty was introduced, keep in mind, above the previous flagship models, they also wanted to make it easy to find new styles. So very cleverly, there's a button here. If you noticed, I don't know if you could notice when I've been doing it, I kept coming up to this button right here. Or I use my stylus, but there's a button simply labeled More. And it gives me all of the styles that were there before, and then there were 3 additional pages of styles, okay? And like all the other previous models in the past, in the Lowry, they would add a new basic rhythm. But the new basic rhythms were they were absolutely beautiful. They weren't really basic. They were easy to follow, but they were styles that you would fall in love with. And sometimes people don't even know this exists. So for example, I'm going to go to the basic button here, and there's 3 new ones on top of the ones that were in here. And one is, it's not just basic, it's called Acoustic Guitarist. So I'll give you a little taste of the intro and the ending for a second. Such a gorgeous style, listen. It's really a gorgeous style. In fact, they call it acoustic guitarist. So some people, if I ever say acoustic guitarist, they go, and it's in the basic, they go looking in the basic buttons and they can't find it. You look up acoustic guitarist and you hear there's a beautiful 12-string guitar in there. And then if I go 2 pages down, there's one called basic pianist, but it's an absolutely gorgeous piano. Isn't that neat? But my favorite, I keep using that word, don't I? My favorite new basic is this one right here. It says basic on the screen, but when you select it in the window, it actually says Stand By You. when you think about that era in music, you can play a lot of great songs. The other one I was tempted to play was Under the Boardwalk, but I don't have the music, so I wasn't brave enough. But gorgeous styles. And what was very clever is all of these sounds are automatically introduced when you select those styles. So that was one of those new, when I used that style, I don't know if you heard on the bottom keyboard, there was a new flute sound that I've never heard before on a Lowry until the Lowry Liberty. You could hear the breath, you were singing and what have you, or playing, and it's so authentic. And then, of course, I think I need to play a little bit of country music. Anyone here like country music? Show of hands. I see 1, 2, 3, half hand. Does that mean you kind of like? Okay, go like that if you like country music. All right. Well, when the Liberty was introduced, I was actually surprised of this style. And I'll tell you why. I told you earlier I started in 1993. I was told I had to learn big man music. I had to learn Lawrence Welk. I had to learn beautiful waltzes. And of course, in the country genre, they gave me a list of songs. Boy, you better learn to play these songs. This song that I'm going to play for you was one of the songs I learned. And in all of the years of being in the music industry, I always thought there was a rhythm style for this song because I used many country styles that worked. But there was never a designated signature style for this song. So I'm going to go to my More, and I'm going to find the country style that I'm talking about. And there it is. The style is called Cheatin' Country. And out of all the wonderful country styles that have been on Lowry organs for over the years, I always thought they had one for that song. Just a lot of them work, but none designed specifically for that song. So when you hear this, the introduction, the ending, the arrangement, everything's perfect for the song. Here we go. You're so wonderful, Lowry Liberty, Lowry Liberty. Now, I'm going to introduce another feature that some of you, I think I know some of you what you own, are familiar with, but this was another breakthrough in history for Lowry, and it happened here first. And it was a feature called MCS Plus. Now, MCS has always been an amazing feature for Lowry because back in the day when it was introduced, for the first time, someone can play 1 finger, 2 finger, 3 finger. It didn't matter what style they played, and the chording system always played what we call musically correct. Still to this day, believe it or not, there are some products out there that the easy play system is incorrect. Now, for giving an example, the easy ones are this. If I said A minor, easy play, most students that learn to play A minor with 2 fingers, they know that it's A and a C. A C seventh would be C and a B flat. And we have a little method that we teach, 2 notes down for a seventh and 3 notes up for a minor. So A and then 3 notes up, A and C makes a minor, and then 2 notes down makes a C seventh. Well, to this day, believe it or not, there are some products out there that don't. I don't know exactly how it goes, but it may be the next note down creates a seventh and the next black note up makes a minor or what have you. And it's not musically correct even though it comes out sounding the way it's supposed to. So MCS was a revolutionary feature when it came out years ago. Well, Lowry wanted to step it up a notch. And what they simply did is they took the MCS as we know it. So for example, if I put on the easy button and I'm playing something like this, and I'm doing 3-finger chords, or 1 finger, it doesn't matter, okay? It knows, and it does it for you automatically. Now listen closely. When I touch the MCS Plus, and what's very clever, it's very smart. If I decide to do 3-finger chord or 1 finger, it knows the difference. And it'll play 6th, 7th, and 8th note chords for you. And why that's so impressive is, well, naturally, because we only have 5 fingers in the hand. So what I'm going to do is use that feature while I'm playing this next song, one of my favorite songs, and one of my favorite beautiful styles that they introduced on here. Listen, and I'll point it when I turn on the MCS Plus. And I'll turn it on and off throughout the song. Turn on the MCS Plus, hear the chord holding, and watch it fill in. Isn't that pretty? I feel like I'm going to faint. Catch me. Well, are you enjoying your time today? All right. Well, I got one more song to play for you, and I have a lot of fun with this song. And you'll see why. it's kind of like just the right speed, right tempo. It's kind of upbeat and fun. Actually, I even tell people, if you have this rhythm style, you almost get your organ paid for free. Oh, so yeah, you ought to buy this and play this style. And I'll tell you more about that in a minute. But, you know, in today's world, it's a little unique nowadays compared to what it was, say, 5 years ago, wouldn't you say, Joni?
You think?
5 years ago, that would have been 2018, right? So around that time, what was happening in the Lowry world is the flagship models were the Arias and, you know, the Marquis. But if you went into a Fletcher Music Centers, you may have gotten lucky and seen an Aria, because that was the last time they built those. But you've been very fortunate enough to see a Lowry Liberty in the store, more than one store. Now, you're looking at the only 2 Liberties in stock. And it's a phenomenal instrument. So sometimes it's easy to not know how magnificent of an instrument this is. You know, I'll give you an idea. I put a little something here. Let me switch cameras. Let's see. Tell my cameraman to get to work here. Robert, switch cameras, will you? Okay, I'll change it to you right now. I talk to myself all the time now. So let's see. Let me get this up on the screen. So in short, this is the abbreviated version. What's so special about the Lowry Liberty? Well, everything I showed you today, of course, but here's kind of a call it a recap, I guess. Dun, da, 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 dun, 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 da, da, da. Yes, I create my own sound effects. Someday they're going to put that on an organ. Da, 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 da.
Needs to be an F.
F, sorry. The Lowry Liberty. First of all, it is and always has been a limited edition. In today's world, I should have put Liberty. Extremely, extremely, very, 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 very limited. And it was one of their best-selling limited edition models in the history of Lowry organs, and obviously the best A-series model. And a lot of people are always curious about this. It has 33 styles above and beyond a Lowry Patriot or a Symphony. Actually, I should change that to any model from the Symphony, Patriot on down, so previous flagship models. It has 59 styles above and beyond the Sterling, 79 above the Imperial, and 103 above the Prestige. Now, some say, well, I have a Journey. If I have a Journey, well, that number is going to fall in the class of probably right below the Prestige. I have an Inspire. It falls in the class of 33 styles above the Inspire, and etc. So if you're not sure where yours fit, just ask. And it was the only time they introduced the all-new cabinet design, the new lowered and integrated adjustable music desk. As you saw earlier, it has the adjustable bench with lumbar support. Of course, it opens up as well. It has the grand monitor speakers, 319 musical styles, and if you do major, minor, and alto, that adds up to 957 options. MCS Plus, the new Auto Fake It Plus, I didn't even talk about my picks, but it has that. That's where we started. The amazing new integrated My Picks, new category presets, and more, and then some, etc., etc., etc. So it is absolutely a phenomenal, phenomenal instrument. Am I still on the screen, Share, or am I back to me now?
You're back to you now.
Okay. My computer's doing funny things on me. Anyway, so I'm going to finish up with this last number. Let me change my camera views. Robert, change the camera, will you? Okay, you got it, boss. All right. So it is a magnificent instrument. It is still one of the most well-loved A models in the series, and it has so many more things that I wouldn't even have, features and sounds and advantages that I wouldn't have enough time in a day to show it off. So my encouragement is, if you've ever considered, or maybe, I know some of you might have upgraded an organ or two over the years, maybe 3, 4, 5, okay.
We got 7.
7, oh, we got 7. Do I hear 8? All right. As you know, when you get into the new model, it's like the hobby starts all over again. And I'm going to strongly encourage, you have Joni and Joe there today. You do have a Liberty there. Find out how amazing the opportunity is on the Lowry Liberty, because we have some exciting and very special incentives that basically almost anyone can afford to do and get a top-of-the-line instrument at a very, very affordable price point. So it's kind of a win-win. The style that I was talking about is, it's a fun style. Over the years, I've always had fun playing gospel music, and they've had a lot of great gospel styles, really fast and upbeat. And then there's some that are very slow for those appropriate ballads. And then there's 3/4 gospels, a little on the slower side. But I always, when the Liberty introduced this style, I thought this was a perfect tempo. See, it's upbeat, it's fun, and it's simply called 50s gospel. And it's just a fun, happy style to play with. And it's very easy, and it's just an amazing style. Here we go. One more time, I'm going to play it in a different key here. And I forgot to tell you, so what you should do is get one, invite a bunch of people over every week, make sure to play this style, and then you know what to do after that. And then within a 30-day time, you'll have your organ paid for, right, Joni? Say yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you. Well, I hope you had as much fun as I did. It was always great when you're playing one of these, right? Well, thank you so much for coming in today, and I hope that you had a lot of fun today and heard some great tunes, learned a thing or two. And if you have any questions, get with Joe or Joni here today and see what this very special opportunities are. And as always, thank you so much for all that you do. Thank you all so much for what you're going to do. And we'll see you real soon, okay? Thank you.